All right, welcome back. In this video, we're going to take a look at the last of the three basic commands. So far, we have addressed how to teach the dog heel, how to teach the dog sit, and now we are going to teach the dog the here command, all with using the leash. Now, remember that we want to do this in small, successful steps. If your dog is struggling with one step, then take your time. It may take some dogs weeks to get comfortable just walking on a leash politely. I have seen dogs, and I can think of several off the top of my head, that fight the leash terribly for weeks, sometimes months. They will lunge, they will try to get away from the leash. If you're having trouble with that, I highly recommend trying to do this in a small, confined environment. Doing it here indoors allows us to, the phrase I use is shrink their world. So we have cut off everything from them. So there's no leaves, no other dog smells, there's no other dogs in here. That helps minimize distractions. At the beginning, we want to minimize distractions. Later on, we'll add distractions as a training purpose. Hey, come here, bud. So once we have taught the dog to heel and to sit. Sit. Boy. Now we're going to add the here command. Now, some people use the word come. Some people use the word here. Personally, I use the word here, but it really doesn't matter. What really matters is the way that you say it. And that's one of the things that I wanted to talk about. When you use a command, it should be businesslike. It should be firm. Now, at the beginning, when we're doing this early on, it can still be pretty polite and playful. But eventually, we want our commands to be firm, businesslike. It does not need to be mean. It does not need to be harsh, but it needs to be firm and direct so that it is understood as a command. Now, when we're starting to teach this stuff, what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk on heel like this, and we're just walking around in here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do heel backwards quickly. Aries, here. Good. Heel, sit. Boy. So what I did there is I backpedaled quickly and gave a tug on the leash at the same time saying here. So now what I have done is I have taught a new command because I am at a new position. I am not with the dog. He is away from me. Aries, here. And then heel to come into the heel position and sit to put his behind down. Good boy. So this little command or this little process allows us to put together the three essential basic commands that we use. Here, heel, and sit are, if you can get your dog to do those three things, everything else is pretty manageable. That is the vast majority of everything that we do in gun dog training is here, heel, and sit. Getting the dog to control his body and control his position. Hey, yeah. Now I should also say, when we're doing this, if you are in a spot where your dog is probably not going to respond to you, or if you think the dog is less likely to come to you, like say he's out looking at something and he's smelling something and you want him to come to you, don't use the command. Don't say the H word. Don't say it if you're not sure he's going to come to you. What you can do is you can encourage him to come to you by doing what I just did. Kneeling down, saying, hey, pup, hey, pup, giving him some claps, giving him some encouragement, encouraging the dog to come to you. At this point, when we're only talking about, building on the foundation, we want to encourage the dog, but we are not going to apply pressure to make him respond yet. The leash is how we're going to introduce that, but he still at this point definitely does not understand all of those pieces. So that gets you a big chunk of working on obedience, and that is here, heel, sit, using the leash and getting comfortable with the leash. That is going to be a major part for the rest of our training.